2 concert tickets Cameron Wade had hidden in his suit pocket felt like a promise. Something I convinced myself was a surprise for me. I waited eagerly for the day, but when the day finally arrived, he was on a business trip with those same 2 tickets. Thanks to my high-placed friends, I had splurged on those tickets, envisioning a night where we'd lose ourselves in the music together. But he was locked in a fervent kiss with another girl as the concert roared on. The audience erupted into cheers, the massive screens capturing every second of their embrace, tears sparkling like diamonds under the stage lights. Once the show ended, I found myself staring at a post on her Facebook, kissing my true love passionately at the concert, the best birthday gift ever. The comment section was a flood of congratulations, everyone wishing them a love that would last forever. But as I scrolled through, I felt the screech of tires and the sickening impact of his speeding car hitting me. When I woke up, Cameron was by my hospital bed with eyes glued to his phone. He wore a soft smile that I'd never seen before. I mustered the courage to ask, "Who is she?" He looked up cold and detached. "I'm your boss. Focus on getting better." Before I could respond, he was already heading for the door, eager to leave. I pulled back my gaze and dialed my Uncle Jason Dunn. "Uncle Jason, I agreed to the marriage alliance you mentioned last time." There was a pause, then relief washed over Jason. "Eleanor, finally. You shouldn't waste another second on a man who's wasted 5 years of your life. When can you come home? They're already asking for a wedding date." I had loved Cameron from the shadows for 5 long years, but he kept me hidden. Given his eagerness to hide our relationship, I assumed it would be simple to resign myself to letting go. As soon as possible, "I'll be resigning from the company." Cameron paused at the doorway on his way back to grab his car keys, asking, "Resigning? Is someone from our company quitting?" I didn't want to hide it from him, because it required his approval, but he was too absorbed in his phone to catch my nod. He grabbed his car keys and nonchalantly asked, "The doctor said you might have memory loss from the fall." I was starting to believe you really did forget everything. I was behind the wheel, the lighting was poor, and you were distracted by your phone. My surprise was palpable. So this explained his pretense of unfamiliarity in the hospital ward, and his reluctance to offer any explanation. Just moments before, he had addressed me with the detached air of a mere employer, cloaked in a veneer of formal concern. Yet, there was no trace of remorse. I had witnessed Cameron just before the crash, sitting next to the woman who was steering the vehicle that struck me. She was the girl lost in a deep kiss with him. He didn't even pause to let me challenge him, quickly excusing himself with the company's demands. I had mistakenly thought his evasiveness was due to remorse for my injuries. How naive of me. He was just dismissing me as insignificant. Still groggy from waking up. "I didn't quite place you as my boss at first," I said, maintaining the ruse with an air of indifference. His gaze lingered on me, a flicker of confusion crossing his features at my composed reaction. The girl who once clamored for affection over the slightest scrape was now oddly reserved. Once he was sure we were alone, his tone became tender, attempting to placate me. "Eleanor, you know how it goes here. Too many prying eyes. Concentrate on your recovery, and once we're home, I'll make it all right." I flashed him a courteous smile. "Of course, thank you, Mr. Wade." Normally, I'd use Mr. Wade as a term of endearment in our private moments, but now the title felt cold and formal, a subtle jab that didn't go unnoticed by Cameron, prompting a slight furrow in his brow. But before he could say more, the doctor walked in. Cameron returned to his cold demeanor. "Rest well, and don't use your special status to bend the rules. Everyone is equal here." Once he left, the doctor looked at me with a knowing smile, teasing, "Your boss has gone, so you can drop the act. But for all his tough talk, he's got a soft spot. He's covered all your medical expenses." My smile morphed into a bitter twist. Cameron was an impeccable actor. He hid our relationship so well that, except for a select few of his friends, our 5-year affair remained a secret. I had pressed him repeatedly on when we could go public, but he'd always brush it off. "It's not the right time." It left me in doubt, wondering about the nature of our bond. Today he provided clarity. Under the guise of my feigned memory loss, his knee-jerk reaction was to assert, "I'm your boss," laying bare his genuine sentiment.